imagine yourself as a restaurant, a waiter, you need to be as efficiently lazy as possible. That's the way we actually determine which seats are, which tables are. Because when you walk out the kitchen, it's the less steps that you need to do, which is actually, like, give you an example. I'm going to give you a floor plan all, so you get to learn the table numbers. This is table 10 right here. As you walk out of the door, the easiest and most efficient way to actually arrive to that table is from here, right? So, table 10, you always use the left hip, turn right for the seat numbers. Every single seat is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's always going to be the same thing. If I arrive to this table, left hip, 1, 2. It's always going to be like that. If I arrive at that table over there, this is tricky because there's a seat there. This table, which you're going to know is table 32. If I arrive at that table, where should be my seat 1? The easiest.
This
Because normally, it would be the first seat that you see. On a table like this that is more than 4, the end of a table is always the last one. So you always start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because let's say it's a table of 10. And you said that's seat 1, right? So I arrive to the table, and I'm looking for seat 4. Am I going to go 1, 2, 3, 4? Or am I going to go 1, then 2, 3? So it's off counting. So it's always on the side. The first one on the left is always your seat 1. You never count the end. The end is always going to be your last seat. Because if you have a table of 20, and you take this as seat 1, when I arrive at the 10th spot on this side, I'm assuming it's 10, but it's going to be 11 since you did this one. Right? So always, first one, left, turn right. Same thing, if I arrive at this table, which is going to be table 14, if I arrive at this table, which one is my seat 1? This one? Always. Then tricky one, if I arrive here, let's say, I have, play with your stuff. I'm sorry, guys. It's gonna make sound as well. If I arrive at this table, and there's 4 seats on it, which one would be my seat 1? If there's a lot more chairs, it's a lot harder to see. But let's say, where's my seat 1 on this one?
The one on the front.
that
Go in
one.
there, because if I'm lazy, there's less step to arrive here than to arrive here on the door. So always remember, kitchen door, the less steps you can do to arrive to the table, your seat 1 is going to be right there. So
Okay.
again, I arrive here, address the table, left, turn right. So this is going to be always the case. So always, always, always the same way. This restaurant has 3 different ways of doing tables. Just because we're assholes like that, sorry. The 10s, 10, 12, 14, 16. And then there's the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s. Like let's say if you have those tables over here, these are gonna be, as you come out of the kitchen, the 10s, then the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s there. Tricky section is the 20s. The 20s is where you guys are sitting. Okay? You're all gonna have floor plans like this, which is a lot more easy. I'll actually keep it here right now. There's one for somebody. The two person are friends. They're all together. Here there's a loner, and here there's a loner. What's the name of this table? Table 1, right. What's the name of this table?
2.
2, exactly. That's table 2 because this is table 1, seat 1, 2, 3, because they're on one bill. They're friends. They're together. So this becomes 1. So instantly this becomes 2. This becomes 3. If they're together, 2. So seat 1 and 2. Right? Good. Let's see where we're gonna have fun this semester. We want to know where we're from to know where we're going. Here we're doing the good old like 3-paper handwriting, which I'm going to show you afterwards. So as the waiter comes in with the order, tells the office, you're the office right now. Here you go. New.
Like the runner?
No, the office. Like it's actually in French we call it the laboyeur, like the barker. So this person here controls what comes out of the kitchen. So basically, the waiter comes in, gives the office. So what's your name again? Maria. Gives Maria the bill. Says new order. Then Maria goes to the chef, which if it would be Arnaud, would be here, would be controlling of his brigade because we have the hot wine, the appetizer, and the pastries in the corner and the other door there. So integrated microphone, very useful here. The office is where you need to be understood, you need to be heard. The chef is only going to listen to your voice, not anybody else. Not a waiter comes in and say, oh, by the way, table 20, the guy says he has a food allergy, or no. First of all, food allergy, you write big, like readable letters on your bill, very important. But her is the only voice that the chef hears. So she said, okay, you order table of 2. Comes and puts it here. Make sure the chef acknowledges you. If he doesn't say yes, or if he doesn't nod, or if he doesn't say hi, consider that he has no clue what you just said. So you said again, chef, you order table of 2, table 20. Okay, you order table 20. And then he's going to speak, he's going to scream about the order. Because we do have a system. We have a nice maitre d' system. We have even iPads like to actually take orders. But you're not going to start with this. If you guys are good and fast learner, by the end of the semester, we might have put like 1 or 2 runners with the iPads as well. But we're going to start by doing it the old school way before the new school way. I'm just going this way, but I'm going to get you over there for this bit. You're not going to get new places to do food, so you're not going to get food out, so you're not going to make money. Your clients are going to be sad. Clients are going to be pissed. They're going to write bad reviews. Your clients are going to be less. Dishwasher, best friend. Make sure you always respect the dishwasher, so you do nice piles. And also, on a normal service, when I'm not teaching, I'm the maitre d' of the restaurant as well. So who gets to do the dishes if the dishwasher doesn't come in because he's pissed? Me. So if you piss the dishwasher, you piss me, because I'm the one doing the dishes afterwards, okay? So just make sure that you do nice piles. We have compost and garbage here. Recycling is actually inside the restaurant. Once you come out of the restaurant, there's going to be a recycling bin that's right there. So if it's bottles of wine or bottles of beer, recycling in the front. Everything that's compostable, compost bin. And also, this guy, only for linens, but for table linens. So either litos, I don't know if you ever heard the term litos, because a kitchen rag is the one that has a green line on it. It's a kitchen rag, it's a torchon that we use to clean. Here, the linens is everything that is used in the dining room. So the tablecloths or the litos. The litos are the small serviettes, the small
Towels.
towels, yeah. The small towels that we're gonna learn how to fold, because we're always gonna fold the same way. Now, the first step is acceptancy. I accept the fact that I always lose my keys. So if ever you see this lying around, just come and put dirty rag, sorry, in the corner of the bar there. So if ever you see them on the table there, and I'm like, trust me, like I have good qualities, but one of my defaults is I always lose my keys. So if you see them, put them right there. Okay? Good. Fire. Small red wine fridge. Because I have my city in the back, in the door that only has 1 key, and I have to kill somebody. No, there's reserve in the back, but this is what we use for service. So if I'm asking you about red wine, so it's going to be here. White wines here, and just know that we're opening in 2 weeks, so it's not the way it's supposed to be. It's going to be a lot more proper and organized. So all the juices, milk, middle, beer, and sparkling, and at the end, white wines. Always going to be a line. Wines by the glass that are open are here. Even the red ones, we're going to put them here at the end of the day. Before service, we're just going to put them here so they're at the right temperature. But that's for another thing. Again, here, coffee machine. Here, the coffee and tea is always included in the meal. First of all, I'll show you an example of the menu. We have one right here. Thank you, Maria. So, It's always going to be a table d'hôte like this, 3 course for the price that you see here. Every single menu, as I said, I'm the one who's writing them, creating them. So if you have any questions, ask me. I'm pretty much doing the ordering of food as well. So you're always going to get this. Coffee and tea are included, except for cappuccino, lattes, espresso, macchiato, double espresso, everything that is involving this bad boy here. The machine, I'm going to learn you how to use it, but nobody's going to do a coffee before I see one good coffee coming out of your hand. So if you want to try doing coffee, if you say like, oh, we have an espresso, we have this, okay, I'll show it to you again, even if I showed you all at once. I'm still going to take time to show every single one of you again, just one-on-one, so you actually get to see it again. And then the one after, you're going to be able to do it. And then from there, it's going to determine if you're allowed to use her or not. Okay? So this, again, this machine has already been programmed. So everything has been programmed by the 10th of a second here and here. Everything is all, because when you do coffee like this, it's always the grabs in dry, grabs in wet, like circle it. Then the gentleman with seat 2, you don't circle it. Then the salad with seat 3 here, and then seat 4 for you. Perfect. So you have your numbers on the table. So let's say that was table 21. We have 4 people, 2 soups, 1 salad, 1 terrine. You start by putting the names of the dishes. Then, like say soup, and then you put the seat number. Because the last thing you're going to do is on the first section of your tic-tac-toe, you're going to count. So you have 2 soups, 1 salad, 1 terrine. So always the name of the dish with the seat number, with the seat number, with the seat number, with the seat number. Let's say we have 2 more people. We have seat 5 and seat 6 now. So right now we have 4 soup. So you always put your counts at the last one, because you don't want to do what I just did. You don't want to be like, oh, it was 4, but then, oh no, it's 5. Oh no, sorry, there's like 7. And you give this to the chef. He's going to say, go write it back. Go write it again. Yes?
That numbers is for the position on the table?
Position number, yeah.
Okay.
So you always, like say you guys, you 4 here are at the table. So I go around. Now what you gonna get? Oh, it's soup. Okay, soup. So seat 1, soup. No, another soup. Okay, so you put seat 2. So you go around and you write the name of the dish. If there's a second person that wants that dish, you don't write soup again. You just write the number of seat right next to the soup, and there, so forth and so on. So you always write once the name of the dish, then you can add more numbers, and then at the end you finish by doing your proper count here. Always the last thing here. So let's say if I had a pizza, and then everybody wants the pizza, like this, 4 pizza. That's a beautiful 4. It's like the best 4 I've ever done in my life. That's 4. Okay, sorry. Yeah, my handwriting sometimes. So then, yeah, so once this is done, but you don't do the tic-tac-toe. As I said, it's an imaginary tic-tac-toe. It's just to let you know that in your bill, you need to have 9 different specific things that I want to see. I want to see what the appetizers are, in which position, what's the count. I want to see what the mains are, in which position, and what's the count. And the seats, very important, because for me, I'm not, by week 5, I don't want to see anybody pointing. You don't point in a dining room. You just say, customer 4 on table 21 has a problem with the dish. It's like, no, sir, table 21, she seems like, no. You're actually, like, if you don't remember, like, you're allowed to do this, like side point, like just like that. Say that's almost accepted, but you never point at somebody, because some people don't feel great to be put on spots. So, and you guys are a lot. It doesn't seem like that right now, but once you guys are all going to be dressed in black, all ready to go on the side, and there's only 2 clients in the restaurant, and there's 3 people pointing them. You will project yourself and look at you, and you will find it a little bit scary. So that's why we try to have a nice atmosphere, and we always spread out in the dining room. Because once everybody is getting nice, getting accustomed, nice joke, and the first thing you see is that right next to table 10, there's like 10 people, and then table 10 is just like trying to eat but it will naturally do a little mush pit here. So once Bill goes in the back, sorry Maria, I'm still using it. And when you give the bill to Maria, Maria's going to say, okay, new order. As soon as the chef mentions the order, she hears it, she goes like this. Just first night, like this. Once the dishes are in front of Maria, Maria's going to say, okay, you pick up table 21, seat 1, seat 2, go. When the office tells you, okay, you, 21, seat 1, seats 2, her stops. Like life around you stops. You just remember those two numbers to save your life. If somebody talks to you on the side, if you have trouble concentrating, just and then you 21, seat 1 and 2. I don't want to see people. Okay, who had the fish? No. This is like Casa Grec. We don't do that. We're a professional gastronomical restaurant. Seat 1, seat 2. Everything's gone. Like, out. And maybe some of you are able to take 6 plates. But here, in a gastronomical restaurant, it's always 3 plates. So 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Okay? So if you want, I'll show you how to hold 7, but it's for another discussion. So always 3. What we're doing here is, I'm just going to finish that example first because I just left on something else. So once table 21, seat 1 and 2, Maria says go. Then Maria goes, oh, we're done with the other one. So that means it was called, it was picked up. Then, second course, once the runner or the waiter goes in the back with the dirty plates, put them in the dish pit, turns around to Maria, Maria, 21, pick up second course. And then she tells the chef, chef, pick up 21 main course. Once the chef said, okay, so we have 2 pizzas. She goes like this. Once Maria gives seat 1 and 2 to 21 to you again, sorry, on the spot, she crosses like this. Me, if I walk into the back, just look at the office like this, I know where I'm going. Okay, that's it, that's good. If you forgot to call your course, and I don't see the second line, I think they're still eating. If I see the line in the back, I know that they're finished eating, and I know that you guys did properly because the second course was ordered. Me, I'm always gonna look, and I'm annoying for that. Like I'm just like ADHD. Like I'm just always there, always. But so me, I'm looking at this. I know where the restaurant is. So when you rectify, this I'm gonna tell you about rectifying the cutlery and everything. This is how I see that you guys are on top of your things. If I see that it's been called, and if I see that the cutlery has been rearranged for main course, that's for another thing. But so that's how I know that the restaurant is running smoothly. Okay? That's good. So far, not too much information. We're good. As I was mentioning before, we are in a world of right-handed folks in American service. Because what we're going to do here at this restaurant, it's called, for service 1, it's called American service. There's 4 types of service. English service, Russian service, French service. Well, there's a lot more, but recognized in the gastronomical industry. American service, Russian service, French service, and English service. All of these are served by the right, except for English service, which is served by the left. That's the only thing. But for you guys, from now on, you do everything by the right. Nothing by the left, and everything by the right. There's nothing that you would do by the left except for bread English service. English service, by the way, is made with a spoon and a fork that you actually do a tongue with them, and then you actually serve the guests. You'll know all about this. We'll go through the different service as well. We'll do it in the second class. Right now, we're just getting accustomed with our industry. But what you're going to be doing here in service 1, you're going to be American service. So serve by the right, unserved by the right, wine by the right, water by the right, bread basket applied by the right. Just if ever, like you guys are good, we start bringing in some English service, so some bread or some, there's going to be some place that we're going to could refill. It's going to be refilled on the left with fork and spoon, but we're not there yet. We're actually really not there yet. French service and Russian service are going to be done with guéridon, which is this. French and Russian service, you're actually going to go to the guests. That's service 2, by the way. That's your next class. And you're going to finish dishes in front of them. So Caesar salad, tartare, Aspis jubilé, crêpes Suzette, rack of lamb, pepper steak, Dover salt. You're actually going to all finish this in front of the guests. This is going to be awesome. We need to know, we need to finish service 1 before working with these. Sounds good?
Okay.
How's your brain right now? Under, then under, inside. And then once you're there, just turn around. And then you can use your 2 fingers there. In it. And then through. But YouTube, very slowly. Because the double Windsor gives you a nice triangle knot. Not that, the other one I call it the Donald Trump. You know the small knot that's like long and thin with a big tie? So yeah, try double Windsor. Needs to arrive here. Like at your, that's a proper
height.
Yeah, and if you want to know if your knot is good, undo it. If you pull on it
Uneven.
and it stays as a knot, because it's not good. See, if it leaves a knot, try again. So again, just once more, and then you can Google it. So on top, under, then up, under. Then, whoop. So somebody makes a video, so you can actually like put it in slow motion for everybody. Send it through Mayo. Here you go. So make sure you have a beautiful triangle like this.
I'll put it on YouTube.
No.
Oh yeah. So yeah, here we go. Good. Again, if you undo it, it should go like this. Okay. Apron.
Apron.
Best way for apron, again. See, it's a fashion school here. Huh? La Salle is big for fashion, so let's go. So once like for this, we'll like this in the back, but then tie it underneath. So then this way, you're never gonna have like the ropes in front of you. So up. Here we go. Looks proper, no? Is it? I don't have a mirror, but I think it looks good. There we go. So again, this $34 plus the shipping, but as the word saying like, do as I say, not as I do. I have a condition in my left elbow,
Okay.
which actually makes me not able to stack on my left side. Sorry. So I'm actually gonna be always doing it on the right. I cannot do it on the left. So, but you guys should learn always on the left side. Okay, because it's easier for one purpose, because you're always gonna serve people on which side?
Right.
There you go,
Right.
that's right. So if you have a place like this, problem is your first plate, because you can never give the elbow to somebody, always from the inside. So there's a trick, which is turning like this. This how I do, because I cannot stack on this side. But if you do it on the other side, it's easier, because the only one plate that you have is on the right, so you can just serve it like this already, instead of being forced to do this. Okay. Fork plates. There's 2 ways. There's the gun, and there's Spider-Man. Easy to remember, right? I a lot more prefer the Spider-Man thing, because like, you know, like spider web. like this. So always, plates have a crease here. Crease is your friend, okay? This is hot, this is less, okay? This helps you carry a lot more hot stuff than if you put your fingers here. Me, I cheat, I don't have any fingerprints anymore, so. But for you guys, it might be hard. It might be hot at once, because the bass is hot. So plates that are at the bass are gonna get hot. The bottom is gonna get hot as well. So, best way, these two fingers, these three, on the crease. So you have your pinky and your thumb that's here. The wider the stance, the more balance you get. So the wider you are, like the best stance you're gonna get. See? So again, 3 fingers underneath. And your pinky at first is gonna suffer. It's normal. But your pinky is gonna get strong. So again, and if it's a bowl, you would get this closer together. When you do have a plate, you get to be like wider, like this. Okay? The other one is the gun, which some people find it more comfortable. So like this, and you go underneath there, or like this. But this to me, I find it's less.
Looks difficult.
Looks difficult.
No, some people find it
The
like
Spider-Man is
some
better.
people like the way their anatomy is made.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier like this, but for me, I think it looks less professional like this. Like
Yeah.
it's just sideways. But for me, like this, like that. And the gun though is good if you're working in a place like let's say Casa Grecque or Boston Pizza, or places that you have to have a lot of plates in your hand, because then you could just put the second one like this, but then you get your pinky out again, so you get to do 3. But this I don't want to see. But like this would be the best way to actually do 3 plates. And if you want to party, you can put another one there. But this don't do. Okay? So again, American service, only 3 plates.
Cool.
Okay? So 2 plates like this, and 1 like this. That's it. So you have the training wheels. Plates is heavy. If there's a lot, like let's say a big lamb shank or something, always keep it for the second plate, the ones that's on top, because the plate that you're gonna have on top of the other one, the more weight on this is gonna lock your 2 fingers. So if you put the biggest one in there, you're gonna be like ah. But then if you put the big weight on top, it's actually gonna solidify your grip that you had before. So always the biggest thing over here, and also for same thing when you're just serving tables. For your exam, you're gonna have to clear a whole table. There you go. So when you address a table like this, if like normally you would start with the ladies, normal. But let's say I arrive there, everybody has pretty much finished, but this guy still has a little bit, and then he has a big bone on him. So this is the one you want to start with, like the plate that has the big bone in it. Just the reason is simple, because when you're gonna take the plate, knife, you lock it with your thumb like this. Okay. So then fork on top, knives underneath, fork on top. So when you arrive at the second one, you just take it like this, and if there's food in it, you just always turn sideways. Just clear it like this. But then, if you put your knife underneath, fork over, very stable. So then you're able to continue. Always remember, lock the knife. I'll show you again how to do it. Lock the knife, and you unset everything by the right always. So as you go, your lock still gonna be hard.
Wow.
And the more weight that you actually put here is gonna lock your thumb, because your thumb right now is gonna, like he has a lot of work right now, that little thumb underneath. But if you do it like this, you're gonna be able to stack without anything that's dropping or shaking. So again, we're not going to ask you to do a table of 4 like this. That's not what we want. Just to show you that when you put things on the proper way, they're able to go all the way. And always remember, small at the end. Always start with the big one. And bowls are your enemy. On a table like this, once you pick the bowl, you're done. You cannot do anything else. You cannot put plates over a bowl. So remember, bowls at last. So this way, if I take it out, look at the way this is placed. So there's no knife that's going to fall or anything. Just how you lock this guy. See?
So one knife is blocking.
The knife is blocking everything, and the forks are on top of it, so the natural curve. But then it's just how you lock this guy. But again, this we're going to ask you to do it on a table of 2. And at that point, there's not going to be the first cutlery that's going to be there. It's only going to be the big knife and the big fork that are going to be there when you're going to do it. So bread plate and this. And the way we're doing it here, there is 2 ways of setting a table. There's actually a lot, but there's 2 ways that we know about. If you set it like this, it's called à la carte. And if you add, where are you here? This, it's called table d'hôte. So table d'hôte and à la carte are the 2 things that you're going to learn here. But every single class that we're going to make, we're going to set the whole restaurant table d'hôte. So every single restaurant is going to be, every single table is going to be like this. Okay? Reason is table d'hôte, 3 course. First course from the outside. Then this is gone. Main course like this. And make sure that when it's main course, I'm supposed to have just a fork and a knife. If I'm eating a steak, we do what we call rectifying. So we have service plates that we actually bring to the table. And we don't bring a steak knife like this. Okay? Never. First of all, if you're stuck with a knife is like this. Never like this. And always tell yourself that you're the one, when you're eating, you're the one that's going to hurt yourself. So always the blade in front, on the inside, never on the outside. Just for like, yeah, it's it. Don't want to do that. And when you want to sit there, I'm not going to stab you, honestly. I'm a professional. So once, if you're going to rectify with a knife and there's somebody there, you don't go like this. But if you go like this, and the guy said, it was huge, like, you just stab him in the elbow. So you always, sorry. Then you bring it from the top, rectify the last. And just mention that you're here. Like if you see that there's not a lot of space, like for a knife, because rectifying of the knife goes where the knife is, so it always goes on the right. You cannot rectify a steak knife here because it's easier. So always say, sorry, sir. And then you go like this, and then you use the service plate that you had in your hand to pick up the regular knife, put it in, walk away. So you always rectify. Rectifying is important because for me, if I look at a table and I see that's a table of 8, and I see that everything is rectified, there's 2 steak knives, I know there's 2 steaks that are coming on that table, and I know that the go is open. So technically, if you've done that part right, I'm 100% aware of what's going on in my dining room. So always remember, top like this, and like this. Sorry, sir.
Okay.
You may leave now. So, and when we say the table d'hôte, again, sorry. It could go up to 6 cutlery pieces on every side. Just remember one thing, it's always from the outside to the inside. So it's always start with the appetizer here, and then you with the main course here. And then you see the fork is always on the left side, knife's always on the right. Then spoon, if there would have been a soup, spoon would be on the right side as well. And why are these this way on top? So that's for dessert. Reason is simple, that it's oriented this way and that way, because if I'm at dessert, it naturally flows like this. So it's always this facing right, this facing left, just because when I'm at dessert, it's like, oh, dessert's there, cool. Get my dessert. Like, yeah, let's go. So it's the way it's brought. Always fork on the right, always spoons on the left. That's why they're placed like this. Sounds
Okay,
good?
right.
It's also a great way when you're having like a dinner party with your friends, so that you don't overwhelm yourself as a host.
At first, bowls are going to be your, as I said, bowls are your enemy when it comes to unsetting, to setting. Yeah.
These are heavy plates.
These are not the worst.
These
The
are
worst are in the
not
back.
that
The
bad.
black and the Revolve are actually fun.
Oh really?
Oh, you're gonna have fun with these.
Oh, those are fun. Don't
Yeah.
break any of those.
They're $56 a pop.
Oh, por Dios.
But no worries again. I have a budget for that, as I said.
We had wine glasses.
Hello. Look at you. It's not the first time.
Can you?
So yeah. So you go narrower for bowls.
Narrow.
Yeah, and wider for plates.
Yeah.
How do
Okay.
you do it with the bowl, sorry?
Yeah.
It's like wine.
Thank you.
Litos, it's always the same way. It's always 3 ways, but I want to keep my crease inside. I don't want to have my crease stepping out. You do one side that is shorter, one side that is slightly bigger, and then you just fold again. So that's the way I want to see it always. So again, like this, and then you fold, but then you stay inside. So I don't want to see any crease at all. That's pretty much the same thing. Oops, and it got stuck on my finger. There we go, and then fold it like this. And you always put it facing the client like this. Okay.
Some
Then
people do the setting, they put the knife and the
yeah, you
fork
could
in the middle.
you could do that. You could do that, or you could put it on top. But us, since we do table d'hôte, it's gonna be on the side. And then, well, let's keep bread for another time. So always like this. You can do it on the both side if you want. So one shorter, one slightly longer. So like this. Good.
Okay.
So that was the lito.
Little.
The little?
Lito.
Little.
Litho.
Little. Okay.
I
And
don't
the
know
way
why. I don't know why. Little thing. So too little, my thing. There we go. Then just fold it halfway there. Halfway there. Let me get it. Just like this, like a pouch. So you put your blades in it. Service plate, because there's 2 ways of doing it. The à la table d'hôte, that everything is there, that you're gonna rectify just for the steak knife or the spoon. But then the service à la carte, you would have every single piece of cutlery on plates like this. You would have probably like 4 different service plates in the restaurant. And then once the meal, the service is done, you take out everything, bring it in the back, and then you take your service plate and you put the second cutlery. So there's always just 1 piece of cutlery on each side of the customer. That would be à la carte. But us for the service, sorry. You as well. So tray. That could be a way. That's the wrong way. Fingers, 5 fingers. If you put it on your fingers, a lot more stable. Like you're gonna be a lot more able to like reshape the weight of it as you go. Like somebody put something there, somebody put something there, someone like just did something there, whoop, just move the thumb. So you actually a lot easier to balance. Tray, the best is always to learn how to carry your tray on your weak hand, not your strong hand. Because your strong hand, if you have, let's say, a beautiful martini that's full over the top, and your strong hand is going underneath the tray, and you try to, like you might put a little bit on the side. Like it's always nice to be able to, again, do as I say, not what I do, because I cannot do it on that hand, as we already established. That's why I'm carrying on my right. But it's always easier to have your good hand to actually properly place things.
Diego.
Oh, and this I'm gonna actually give you a reminder of it. But as we go, might as well, right? I'll tell you a little bit about these guys.
Maria.
So, there's that.
Barranquilla.
Ahí fue a Bogotá.
And by the way, you're gonna have like computerized note about pretty much everything we did. Just because of the sad face again in the corner there. Which is starting to scare me because it's not coming back.
He's ready to try.
Oh yeah? Come.
Ready.
So, first of all, guys, real quick, I'm just going to tell you about these guys that we have in front of us. So, this is an old-fashioned glass. Old-fashioned, martini, water glass. And then you'll see here there's two different sizes of wine glass, 17 and 22 ounces. This one is not the right one on the table. We always put this one. It's just this one. We have some extras for big reds or something like that, but I find this more beautiful. It's thinner. This one's thicker. I like this one better. So 17 ounce, 22 ounce. That's all right. Then this guy here, it's called an Inao, or tasting glass, but Inao. That's the name of it.
Now.
Inao. I-N-A-H-O. Inao.
No.
Now.
So Inao, or tasting glass, or sometimes port glass. But normally, like port would have a tutor. So yes, depends. So again, old-fashioned, martini, water glass.
Now.
Inao, perfect. And what's this guy?
The mojito one. The
Mojito one.
Yeah.
But a mojito is always served in a
Cocktail.
highball.
Highball.
Yeah.
Highball, old-fashioned, martini.
Water glass.
Water glass.
17,000, 22,000. Now.
You know.
Such a question. Just saying.
It's saying.
Old-fashioned and bonus question.
Cognac.
Cognac or
Brandy.
start with an S.
Scotch.
No,
Brandy.
no. If you serve a Scotch in this, no. Scotch.
Scotch is in there.
Yeah.
Scotch is in there.
Snifter.
And this
So-
one.
so-
So
High?
for cognac
Jared,
or
high?
brandy. This one.
Highball.
Highball.
Called snifter. And there's two reasons why this glass is like this. Because let's say a proper cognac would be at 30 degrees. Your hand would make it at 30 degrees. So that's why it's like this. It's called a stiffener because your nose gets in.
Getting the notes of whiskey.
See what?
For getting the notes and flavors of the whiskey.
Well, yeah, of the brandy and everything. And for the whiskey, we will have one that is narrower, longer, which is called a drab.
The smaller ones.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't have any, but would be called a drab. So again,
Old fashioned.
Old fashioned.
Martini.
Martini.
Water.
Water.
Snifter.
Snifter.
there you go.
22 ounces.
22
2
ounce.
ounces.
17
17
ounces.
ounces.
Now.
Now,
Highball.
Highball.
highball. Old fashioned was that, yeah.
Oh, right. Old fashioned.
Highball.
This.
Oh my god. How many
This one is just footed old fashioned, but this one, it's, I think, should have been extinct at the same time as the dinosaurs who were using them because they're not practical at all. They don't have any. Anyways.
Good for absinthe.
Oh.
It reminds me of an absinthe glass. Any flutes?
Bonus question. What was that? Absinthe glass.
Yeah, I was like, it looks like an absinthe glass.
It is an absinthe glass.
Do we do absinthe here?
Yes, we do.
Nice.
It's for the drink. It's the drink.
That's
Oh.
it's not a champagne flute.
Beer glass.
Okay.
Simple. Beer glass.
What's the beer glass? Which one?
This one.
And the last.
Champagne.
Champagne.
Perfect. If I'm serving these last, from where am I handling them? Where am I handling them? Because you have a tray right now. You're gonna take these 4 glass and put it on the tray. Always wine glass by the lattige from here. Same thing with martini glass lattige. Water glass here on that line here.
What's the rule?
That's just a way of handling the glasses. If as not a client, but as the person who's
Like a
serving it.
scissor?
Yeah, like a scissor like this. Yeah. Same scissor here. and by the foot. Yeah, no, you're good. There you go. Perfect.
Wow.
So again, siege. How do you call that in English? That's siege.
The tail.
Tail? Okay. Let's call it the tail. Or let's siege.
The stem.
So by here,
That's probably a better word.
Stem is better.
stem. Okay.
Stem.
Side here, same thing. And these are scissor, like this and this one. Okay. Wine glass. You never serve. Never take it like this. Never take it like this. And under no circumstances whatsoever do you take a glass like this from a table, even if it's dirty. Because imagine the situation. You're sitting in a restaurant, and right next to you, there's a guy is sneezing and coughing. You're already disgusted by that. And then the busboy goes like this, takes his water glass like this to bring it at the bar, brings his water glass like this, like as he holds this by his lip, and then walks back and say, "Here's your pizza." So you just like put literally your hands in the mouth of the customer, didn't wash your hand, and served the next
Indirect
guest.
kiss.
So don't do that. Like even if the restaurant is empty, there's nobody. Just because practice makes perfect, right? So if you always think about the little visual that I just all gave you with the person that just like is coughing behind you, that just remind of this. So never take it. Always take it from the side. And if you cannot take it for some reason, always make sure that you leave at least an inch of the top of the glass, so where the lips of the person goes. So if, let's say, give you an example, I don't know, it's like this on the table. So basically, like you can't get it from the bottom. So just make sure that you leave at least an inch. So go as down as you can, just leaving the place where his mouth goes untouched. Okay? Sounds good?
Wow. Mm-hmm.
You guys are hungry? Are you hungry?
What if the frame of the glass is dirty?
No, kitchen's closed, sorry.
Just
What if
like,
like someone was eating steak and they like have grease in their head? Like,